Welcome to Will's World, your will overall, powered by Third Gen Physical Therapy and Sports Science Institute.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for pressing play. In today's episode, we're going to hit on a topic that we normally don't get a chance to discuss because I just feel like it's something that we need to start to kind of sort of give some insight on. Now, before we get started, for everybody who's listening, please like, share, subscribe, comment. On the episode and let us know what you think, and also any new topics you want us to cover, and anything you think you learned in this episode that you can get from somewhere else, you can give to someone else to help them. Please do so. Now, let's get going. In today's episode is titled "Why Focusing on Retirement While You Are Young Matters." Why focusing on retirement while you are young matters. For all the young people who listen to this podcast, when I say young, I mean the ages between 18 to 35, 40 years of age. Because in my opinion, you can still start a little late and be able to make some ground up, but the range I chose is for a specific reason. And with that, within this episode, we're going to kind of dive into, why I say that range, but also, some thoughts to consider. So we're going to touch 3 points of this topic. Number one, most people don't know about true saving. They just don't know. Number two, what is being rich versus being wealthy? Number three, how should you approach it? Meaning, how should you approach the strategy of getting to the place where when you're done working, you can really be done working, right? Now, the first part of the talk, most people don't know about true saving, right? What I mean by this is that a lot of us don't get taught about saving. We get taught about savings accounts, but we don't get talked about how to position ourselves to be able to actually save money that will grow for us and then allow us to have financial freedom later in life, right? And the reason for that is because our parents are not informed on it. Sometimes our parents or people we know who are older than us or people who we know who are our peers, they gatekeep, right? They don't want to share the information. And then the last part, some of us don't care. We're in a world now or in a generation now where people do not care what other people think. They just don't. You have a lot of negative thoughts that tend to fill the airways where most of your actual audiences gravitate to. They don't want to be informed about things that can help them. They want to be informed about the negative topics that are out there. So as a result, you don't learn about things that can really grow you, benefit you, expand upon what you are and what you do, right? Now, the problem with that is that once you get the information, up to you to use it. Because if you don't know about true saving and then you get offered the information to learn about true saving and then you don't implement it, that's on you. I get so tired of running to students as well as clients, as well as just everyday people who have the information in front of them, but just because the messenger wasn't correct, you don't want to use the information. The messenger does not matter. The information that you get is the most important thing. You have to use it to qualify if what's being talked about is worth being implemented, okay? Now, when you get to that place of implementation, right, you have to determine what are you trying to accomplish, right? What am I trying to accomplish? Am I trying to be rich? Am I trying to be wealthy? To set my family up so when I leave here, they have a better starting point. Like what I'm trying to accomplish. For the most part, a lot of people just want to have money, get some extra money, be a little rich. They want to be able to, acquire some more financial freedom to do what they want to do while they're still here on earth. So you're falling the category of being rich, rich in the sense of having more wealth than you had, at one time in your life, period. Because we'll collectively make millions of dollars throughout our lifetime. We just make it over our lifetime, so it's not a lump sum. So being rich for a lot of people is just having that big amount of wealth at that one particular, big amount of money or financial gain at one point in time, right? So if that's you, then this can help you some. The next piece is the wealth, right? What's wealth? So for me, when I think of wealth, I think of doing or gaining um, you know, financial ability. to be able not to just impact your life, but impact the life of the ones that are connected to you forever, right? Where you are able to amass so much financial means that you're able to actually impact them where they can have a better starting point to be able to amass even more means. So when you leave here, your actual legacy or your actual financial means grows beyond all measure. Now that's the long game, though. It's a lot slower deal. You're having to acquire different things. There's a certain song and dance that has to occur with the world you live in. So it's all just a lot going on there. So now the thing I want to harp on within this though is the rich and wealthy parts. If you're trying to be rich, what you really want to do is probably invest a lot into the stock market. The stock market is horrible right now, by the way. So as a result, it's the best time to get into the stock market because you have an opportunity to be able to amass some growth of your funds that you put in there pretty quickly. Because once the market bounces back, you have an opportunity to be able to really, increase your earnings, right? And what you also probably want to do is to try to get into some things like some CODs and some things where you can be in it for a month or a year and have a vast growth of finances, or you can do what they call high yield savings accounts where you accumulate about 4 to 6%, or maybe, sometimes you get up to 8 and quarterly, and then you're able to, take that money you put in their account and then draw that interest, take it out, and just bounce it to other high yield savings accounts. And then, last but not least, you can probably start some type of actual business that gives you the access to the tax breaks that can help you be able to gain a lump sum of money in a short period of time. This will allow you to be able to have a lot of money on hand as time goes on, but it still takes some time. But in a 3 to 5 year period, if you lock in, you can get it done. Now, only thing about that type of actual approach requires some adaptability. You're always having to change, move, flip your actual approach a lot in order to be able to garner what you're trying to get, which is just a nice lump sum of money to be able to, use, at your discretion for you. Now, the wealth part, this is where you start to approach it in a different way, which leads to this third part. How should I approach it? The third talk, and this is kind of amassing wealth. You have IRAs, 401ks, IULs, rainy day funds, life insurance policies, right? Now, the 401ks, everybody would say that is pretty much garbage. But for me, I look at 401ks as a way to be able to take money, to roll money over into the thing that I know actually amasses me the most interest and wealth and actually is going to grow my money over a extended period of time. So 401k for me is like a jumpstart kit, you know, or like people like to say, your starter pack. Now the IRA is the same thing for me. Once I get a 401k and I'm starting to actually, amass wealth in that, I may take that out of there, roll it over to IRA, and then get a more focused approach on how I'm how I'm going to hit some home runs, and set up my interests and my investments or my portfolio to be able to do that in that IRA. And then the IUL, which is Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, is a policy that has a cash benefit or a death benefit, but also a cash benefit within it, where you can actually have some protection if you were to, not be here for your family, and then also be able to eventually accumulate enough, growth within that particular policy where it can transition to a retirement policy. That thing is a little bit more complex to get into. You have to find people who write them. If you want to know somebody who does so, please leave something in the comment, or you can actually contact us, via our social media, inbox us, DM us, and as well as email us, and we'll get you in contact with a person that we think does a great job with that. Rainy day fund for me is more of a little bit of a joke. When I say rainy day fund, I mean that you should always be putting money aside. $100 a month, $100 every pay period, 200 a month. Just trying to build that quote unquote, pocket of money, which in turn it can make you, have some funds that you can start to figure out, oh, hey, I have this rainy day money now. I have things that are coming to play that I can actually take advantage of. I'm going to implement my rainy day fund. And so that thing, whether it's a stock market deal, IUL, 401, well, not 401k, but a life insurance policy, RA, something like that, that is giving you a good return. You can go and take your rainy day fund, some of that, and put into that. And then the last piece is life insurance policy. All right. When you actually get into a life insurance policy, it's not just to cover your expenses, but it's also to make sure your loved ones have something that when you leave here to be able to actually move forward and press on in their ventures. Okay. Not saying that everybody will do it. Some people will blow the money. Some people will actually take advantage of the money and fully put it into their business to be able to get to a place where they're able to really grow that wealth even further. Because whether you like it or not, nobody cares what you think once you leave here when it comes to um, who spends your money. Like some people say, I want to swipe my card and my last dollar at the same time I'm getting ready to pass away. And that's funny because who cares? Like, nobody cares. So if you're trying to generate the wealth piece of it, that life insurance policy is important because at least someone it can have access to monies and hopefully they do right by them. So if your wealth gets to a place where you accumulate enough to change the people lives close to you, then hopefully one or two of those people actually understand what you did and how you did what you did and continue that growth. So now we just bankroll everything into generations, and that's how you create generational wealth. Yeah, a lot of people don't do that because a lot of people don't want to do that because some people have a selfish view on their life when it comes to how they want to live, and that's totally fine. They're entitled to it. No criticism from me, just speaking the facts of that what happens. But if you're trying to generate wealth and you're trying to be in a better place from a rich standpoint, the talk today was for that. If you don't know something, ask a question. If you're trying to determine how you want to implement that and where you're trying to get to, you need to determine what you're trying to generate being rich or being wealthy. And then also, last but not least, your approach to it, right? Because if you don't have your approach, I'm sorry for that timer, guys, but if you don't have the proper approach, you're going to fail anyway. Okay. So, hope today's episode will able to give you some information on how to be able to take care of your life and be able to actually put yourself in a position where you can retire and really enjoy it, as well as be able to help the loved ones that you feel like would do right to be able to also, have a better starting line and be able to bankroll that wealth for generations. If you like what happened today, guys, please leave your comment, like, share, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff. And if you're ever looking for more information from us and more episodes from us, please just follow it, follow what we're doing. We're going to be releasing things more often, more consistently. I kind of have an actual way we're going to do that to be a lot more consistent. And with that being said, I hope you have a blessed one, and I'll catch you in the next one.